trained thespian, and me and the people in the plays I were in would go hang out after rehearsal and stuff. We
I was in choirs, so
but I never really hung out with them. I would always come home and hang out with my three best friends. Like when you saw one of them, you saw all three of us. But I mean, all four of us. But it was sometimes I look back on it and I see there were moments that I was oblivious to back then, where people were offering me sexual moments and I didn't even realize it was happening because that just wasn't the mental space I was in. But I don't know. I feel like right now I have a healthy mix of both for probably the last 15, 20 years of social, sexual, all those things. But I didn't have a sexual part for
we'll see.
many moons after a lot of my friends.
But mind you, I got started when I was 15, but I was groomed into it. So
Right.
so it was like I want to say the social and sexual was in a way merged when I was younger. And I'll get into the story about how I was groomed into it much later. I don't want
But
to
you
do
weren't
it
really
now.
being social though, were you?
I was in a choir, so I was social with the people in the choir.
Okay.
But one particular individual in the choir that I was in, well, it was a director. I'm not even going to do all that. The director was the person. So
Right.
while I was being quote unquote social with the choir, the only person I hung out with was him.
So you weren't really being social.
Right. I was just there.
You were just a part of the choir.
Right. When I joined the choir, and it was a community choir that he had started, because he was also the director of our church choir. So a lot of people that were in our church choir were also in this choir that he had. So I saw the same people at both rehearsals, whenever we had performances and things like that. But a lot of that started when I was 13 when I joined that church. He became the sole friend that I really kind of spent majority of my time with. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that things were transgressing in his mind a different way, and things went sexual as I got a little older. And when I started expressing that I like dudes, then that's when things went in that direction with him. And so he merged, if you will. I hate to put it this way, but he taught me what a friend with benefits was, because I never even knew that term or experienced that until him. He would take me places, do things. I would help him move furniture. He would take me to the gym.
But he
Go ahead.
and I know this is a topic for a different day, but he was not a friend with benefits. He was a predator.
He was. But
He
it
was
took me to go into therapy to realize
right.
what actually he was. So I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, my social interactions were solely with guys that I was fucking.
Oh, but wait. What did you? Did he tell you a friend with benefits was?
No. That's what I'm saying now, looking back, I can see that's what, I
What
guess,
the
in his
relationship
mind,
was.
right, in his mind, what he made it to be. But I didn't know any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I knew was I was a 15-year-old dude who liked dudes. I had never experienced having sex with a dude. I had never experienced all that shit.
Wait,
So,
you were trained by predators.
hence the name.
He knows that now.
Right. Hence the
uh,
name. But see, I use it more as a return of power, as a joke, return of phrase. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
This
know
was not supposed to be the topic, but
it's
I'm a,
not.
I'm glad that we're
I'm
delving
circling.
into it. I know.
No, I'm not going to stay on this
Okay.
because I know you don't want to be too heavy. I'm not going to stay on this. I'm
Just
just
today.
explaining
I know.
that for me. And look, here's the thing. This is one of the key points about our show. Your life is a little bit more lighter than mine. So when I start into my stories, unfortunately, for a lot of times when I start these topics or go to things, it's gonna get dark and heavy.
I agree.
So I'm not gonna apologize
No,
for
I
that.
wasn't saying we didn't have to talk about it. I just thought we were going to save it for an episode where we were kind of focused on that.
Well, we're
But
not
I
focusing
know
on it. I'm
when we
giving a
talk, things do just
right,
naturally flow out of us. So,
right. Like, I'm not staying in this realm. I'm putting it out there for it to be understood that this was my introduction to social interactions.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So learning now since I've been here what it really means to have friends and to like be a friend. Like I had, like I said before this, my friends were straight, and some were bi curious. So I even fucked around with some of them. So it's all been merged for me. You know what I'm saying? In those realms. Um, that's why I mean, like I felt like some ways I did live a sheltered life, and sometimes I didn't. I lived a sheltered life in terms of getting to know people. I didn't live a sheltered life sexually. You know what I'm saying? The difference. What I'm saying.
Yes.
So where now I'm trying to get to know people because fucking somebody is easy for me. It really is, honestly. I hooking up, getting some. That's not a problem. Making genuine friends, building genuine connections. That's what I focus on now. You know what I mean? That's more harder for me. So, and I understand we had to go there, but I had to go there to come back here for you guys to understand this point of me and why it seems like I'm so socially awkward because I am. I'm a socially awkward motherfucker all the time. I do fake it till you make it a lot. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it 100%.
yeah.
No, yeah,
Like I know we go heavy sometimes, and
it's okay. It's okay to go heavy. I just remember we had discussed and we were like, we're gonna save that for something else. And
I know,
I know
and
we roll. It's okay that we
I can,
rolled into
I
it,
can go.
friend. But
But when we have that other discussion that we were planning on talking about, I can go
yes,
further into just semi spoiler discussion on abuse and gays and God and things of that nature.
right,
We can go back, and when we go into that topic for that episode, I will give probably more of a detailed semi understanding.
right.
But this was just an overview to understand for me my socialism or my introduction into socialism with people came with sex and it came with an understanding of you fuck your friends or friends. There are friends you can fuck. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
and that's as well as we get along. We are so polar opposite because my socialization came with you don't sleep with your friends. Like I've never done anything sexual with the three best friends from childhood. And it would be funny because people would just assume me and my guy best friend, like, oh, I know y'all was messing around as teenager. And then it's like, that's absolutely disgusting.
And people think
If
that
you He
yeah.
is like my blood brother. We have separate parents, but he is literally like my blood brother. And I've never looked at him in that way. He has just always been the person who has had my back since day one. Probably closer to me than my actual brothers because my brothers are so much older than me. He was like the brother my mother didn't have that was my age. So I think my socialization was just like if that's your friend, they're off limits. And I'm not saying that I have never slept with someone who is now my friend. That's before someone attacks me. That has happened. But I will say for the most part, most of the people that are super close to me, I've never been sexual with.
But see, and like, yeah, complete opposite. All the not all, but most of the people that have been close in my life who've been there for me, I was sexual with in some way. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that even went to high school. Not because I ended up fooling around with my high school best friend.
Mm.
But that was more him than me. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew that I was attracted to him and that I had feelings for him and stuff like that. And he chose, one New Year's Eve for a drunken little thing to fool around with me. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you know what I'm saying? It kind of fucked up our friendship, and I'll be honest. But that was the
So
first time I had experienced that happening, though.
but did you so you said he knew that you liked him and you had feelings for him. Did you tell him that?
Mhm.
So you didn't think that that was going to make the friendship awkward and
It
weird?
never did. He never let how I felt about him. Hold on.
So wait, what made the situation awkward?
What made it awkward was after that particular New Year's when I went to his house and we got drunk, and he initiated some fooling around between he and I. And then rather than me being the adult I should have been and having a discussion with him about it the next day or a couple of days later, I never said anything until like years later.
But how did it make? So, but y'all were still friends.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same. Like, still friends, still had somewhat of a connection, but he always just put it on. I don't remember. I was drunk, and for me, that's not tolerable for me. I was drunk.
So
Does
is
not.
that what made it weird,
Yeah,
or?
I was drunk. Does not excuse it for me because I was drunk, but I
But,
remember everything.
but do you feel that way because you have feelings for him and he didn't have those kind of feelings for you? So
I could agree with that also
you feel like
because you knew.
Yeah.
So I felt you. So looking back on it, because now he's pansexual. He done came out talking about he's pan and all this. So you knew, and you used that moment to have an experience.
But I would say when that moment happened, he possibly couldn't have known at that particular time.
I can slightly see that. I can slightly give you that. But my thing is this: I have had too many motherfuckers under the guise of uh, alcohol do things, and then like
Oh no, yeah, I
so.
know.
So that's why I don't necessarily have that allowance for that because you can always blame it on being drunk. You can always blame your shit on being drunk. Everybody fucking does that shit, damn near. For me,
and I'm
that's not an
saying he
excuse.
may have blamed it on that, but he may have blamed it on the alcohol because maybe it was a moment where he was like, we shouldn't have done that because
Then
we're
he shouldn't have started
friends.
it.
And
Because
sometimes
the
alcohol
thing
makes you drop your
when
inhibitions and you realize after
when he
alcohol
started it,
can make you do stupid shit.
true.
Let's
When he started it, I tried to stop him several times, and he was very persistent. So at that point, I just said to myself, "Let the good times roll then." Because if you're going to keep being this persistent, and I'm going to keep trying to stop you at some point because of how I feel about you, I am going to. Now, looking back on it, was I in the right? No, I was not in the right. I probably should have just left his ass in the damn room by himself and went home or some shit or went to sleep.
but you wanted it.
I did,
That part.
and I'm mad enough to admit that. I'm mad enough to sit here and say I knew. You know what I'm saying? And he and I've had conversations. I told him the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like after trying to turn you down for so many times, you're constantly persisting on me. Yes, now I should have left you there, but then yeah, I did it, and I wanted to do it. I felt like you wanted it that much that you kept pressing me to fucking want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But looking back on it, I should have left his ass alone. I should have just let him be drunk. I should have sent him in there to his wife and not thought anything about it. Because
Oh
yes,
wait, his wife
Wait,
was
wait,
his
his
wife was
wife.
at home. Wait, and he was married.
so
Wait, how old were you?
we were in our 20s. This wasn't when I said so. When I mean we were when I said high school, I meant that I had feelings for him through high school.
Okay.
So when the incident happened, we weren't in high school. We were in our 20s. And he, by this time, was already married to a girl that he did not want to be with.
First
But
mistake.
but he was with her because one, he liked black women. His family did not like the fact that he liked black women. He hooked up.
Oh wait, so he is
Oh, he
white.
was
He's
white.
white.
Okay.
Okay.
So his family didn't like the fact, and that was another thing which is so fucking awkward. His family, well, his dad was racist, very racist. Mom, not at all.
Oh, this is the friend you talk about.
Yes,
Oh, okay, okay. I'm.
dad was very
It's
racist.
starting to click in.
Mom was not racist. Mom pretty much adopted me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like she knew I was gay early on. You know what I'm saying?
I probably would have to.
So, but it was funny though. I was the only gay black child that was ever in their house. I stayed in their house weeks. One time I stayed at the house for a whole week, didn't tell my mom. I left messages telling her I was going to school so she knew where I was. And when I actually
Your mother was okay with that?
because she wasn't okay with it. She grounded me for 6 months when I actually came home. But
But she just let you stay there. She
because
never.
she
My
she
mom would have
talked
came
to his mother.
to my best friend's house and
Um,
whooped my ass and said,
edit
"Get your ass
that.
home."
Yes.
Oh, you said that. Beep. No,
Right. Don't even worry. By the time
beep
by the,
that out.
by the
Beep
time
that
this
out.
shit hit the air, you will never know his name. Trust and believe.
Beep that
Unless
out.
you go on our Patreon, in which case, honey girl didn't. Woo! Yeah, let me tell you some shit.
Beep that
But
out.
no, my mother, after the first night, I had left a message. She talked to his mother and made everything okay.
How
But
old were you?
I was like, I want to say I was like 16, 15, 16.
Mm.
I didn't graduate high school until I was like 19 years old. So she knew where I was. She talked to his mother, and she guaranteed that she would bring me back on the weekend, to which she did.
Okay.
So I was able to be there for the whole week. And as long as I did not miss school, that was her only contingent. As long as he does not miss
Okay,
school.
so she knew. I thought you was just over there leaving messages and not talking to your mama. Like,
No, 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 no,
girl,
no.
I'll be home when I get there.
No.
Like my mama would have came and snatched
But
you
when,
up.
even though she was okay because she had talked to his mother, when I came home, I did not go back over there for 6 months.
Your mama said, hell
Yeah.
no.
She was nice about it. She was cool. It's like, okay, I'll get, as long as you go to school, I will be okay with it. And when I came, she didn't say anything like that until I actually got in the door. And she was like, you realize you're not going back over there for a long time, right? You had your fun. You went there. You're not going back over there. So yeah, I know. I've pushed a lot of boundaries also when I was younger as well. So
And still.
while I was quote unquote sheltered as I felt, that's why I pushed boundaries. But they were always, I don't know. They were just always me trying to escape, I guess, if you will. But back to what I was saying before, so I to answer y'all questions. Yes, he was married. His father was incredibly racist, so he couldn't be with a black girl. And if he knew anything about himself, then he damn sure couldn't be with a black man. So he married this white girl. They hooked up. He had actually gotten her pregnant when they hooked up. So he quote unquote did the right thing and he married her. When he hooked up with me, though, he was already pregnant with a second daughter, which was funny. So no, it was a New Year's, and I went over there just to hang out, have some drinks, chill. His wife was in their room because the house was big, and they took the family room and turned it into a den, like bedroom for them. So
So we gotta speed the story up. We running out of time, y'all. I'm sorry.
long story short, she was asleep, and we were getting drunk, and I tried to get him to go to bed. And instead of going to bed, he essentially coerced me into giving him a blowjob.
Did he coerce you or
I,
just keep asking? There's the difference.
I mean, he was very persistent asking, and he kissed me. The kissing is pretty much what started it.
Okay.
Then it went from there.
Y'all both were in the wrong.
I can look back and say that.
Yeah.
I can look back and say
And I
that.
agree.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna sit here and try to defend actions or anything like that. Like it was young and stupid.
And I feel like a big part of that, now that you've given us more light, could have been the fact that he was married, the fact that she was pregnant, whether he
That's why I
wanted
said
to do
no.
it with you or
That's why I
not.
turned him down so many times and tried to get him to go into his room.
And that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes that liquor lets your inhibitions down
It sure did.
and you do things, but then you wake up in the morning and you are, it's not that it was you, but that he shouldn't have done what he did, which was then in turn going to make your relationship awkward because you now realize that you did this thing that you knew you shouldn't have done.
Mm-hmm. But then it pushed it. But
And
then it proceeded to go into other areas as we got older, even to now. So I don't. At this point now, it's like our friendship is so. I don't even consider us friends, to be honest.
well, sometimes you outgrow friends.
You know, like
They're there
he's on.
for a
He.
season and a reason.
I don't want to say, and I hate to say that we're not friends, but like we don't talk. We don't talk at all. We go months without talking. You know what I'm
And
saying?
so don't think that that doesn't mean you're not a friend because I always like to drop a little nugget of wisdom before we leave. My best friend's mom always, when we were young, I told you the four of us was always together. And I remember one day when we were like 16, 17, we were all in at my best friend's house. And her mom said, y'all gonna float apart. It's
Mm-hmm.
what growing up is. She said, y'all gonna have to let go of each other in order to grow up. She said, but when you get back together, whenever you all get back together, it'll be like no time passed. Y'all will pick up where y'all left off. She said, but as you grow up, you get families, careers, and your time and your priorities have to change. And you can't be together like you are right now because y'all don't really have responsibilities. Y'all teenagers that don't have nothing to do. And honestly, we try to do lunch like once a month or once every other month. And when we do get together, it's honestly like no time has passed. Like we
Yeah.
click back on, but I feel like it's all in the time and the effort that you put into things. Like we still text, we call each other once in a while, but like when we are all in the same place together, it's like no time has passed. It's like it's 1992 again, and we just fall back in place.
I, I don't. I don't know that I can say I've had that experience like that all the time. Have we had that, or did we have that prior? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now I don't say trying to tackle situations that you wish you had tackled earlier. It makes things awkward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like we're on the part now where the awkwardness has happened. We've separated friendship wise. I feel to do whatever we need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, I'll just be given the 55-minute mark.
So we're gonna try to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and start trying to wrap it up. We have some announcements that we want to give to you guys before we bring a close. I know this conversation kind of went anywhere. We were shooting the shit, really. Didn't have a whole major topic, so just kind of throwing some things out there with a good conversation today. One of the first things we do want to mention is that we are on a few other platforms now. We are on Amazon Music. See, I can look up on my phone. Give me 1 second, y'all.
He was supposed to know this. I thought he was
Right.
ready.
I was supposed to, yes, but I forgot. I forgot. Don't kill me. I forgot.
So unprofessional.
I am. Just give me a hot buttered minute.
So-
I have it. So here we go.
Oh, okay.
Heifers. Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast. We're on a site called Podcast Index as well as Listen Notes.
And Spotify.
That's the first one. I said we're on 4 others.
You never said Spotify.
I said we're on 4 other podcasts. They know we're on Spotify.
What if they listening from the other podcasts?
They wouldn't know that.
When this episode might hit one of the other podcasts,
yeah.
so you need to also specify.
Well, of course we're going to
where
specify.
We started.
Of course we're going to specify Spotify.
No, you weren't.
I didn't get a chance to because you had to cut me off and interrupt me.
You were not going to say Spotify. You were just going to mention
you love to interrupt
ones.
me.
You were going to mention
also. Cut this.
Okay, Mrs. Garrett.
Right. Also, we do have an email address as well. It is what's the point pod@gmail.com if you guys want to send us any type of questions, comments, or anything like that.
What's the point? DA?
Yeah, with a DA.
Yeah, no, you
not
have to
THE. It's
yeah,
DA.
you have
spell
to,
it out.
yeah.
WHATSDAPOINT
Oh, okay.
Point. It will be up on the screens for you guys to see. All the socials are the same name. All the socials, our channels, they're all the same name. It is What's the Point Pod. You'll be able to find us anywhere your podcasting platforms that you listen to are. You'll also be able to watch us on YouTube, and we'll be having a Patreon coming soon, getting that worked out. Getting any other announcements that you want to relay, Mr.
I guess just that probably I should have spoke first because I'm the prettiest. However, I just
But we see who carries more conversation though.
Because he's a big mouth.
That's the point.
And do you see I have to wrap him up? Your stories are long and convoluted, but it's part of our charm. So
I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you.
And I will hit you back. What's your point? What's the point?
All right, guys. It has been great. I thank you all for tuning in with us again. Episode 5. We are really trucking along, man.
Yes, we are. We love y'all so much. We appreciate y'all for watching. And as usual, stay classy, San Diego.
See y'all later.